Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here. You know, as focused learners, I know you appreciate getting straight to the heart of complex topics. And man, today we are tackling something truly profound. We're going to take this fascinating journey back in time to explore exactly how ancient cultures viewed our most intimate physical connections. We're unpacking the sacred spark, decoding ancient sexuality. So let's just dive right in with a question that might kind of challenge some of your preconceptions. What actually happens when we view the physical body not as a taboo, but as a direct gateway to the divine? It's a pretty provocative thought, right? If we want to really grasp this ancient worldview, we've got to unlearn some of our modern biases. We need to basically temporarily strip away the shame, the secrecy, and that mechanical focus that usually surrounds this topic today, and look at the whole shebang through a completely different, much more expansive lens. All right. Section 1, the sacred force, a divine manifestation. This right here introduces our first major paradigm shift. Just look at the stark contrast in human thought. On one side, we have the modern view, which kind of distills physical intimacy down to something taboo, shameful, or honestly purely mechanical and hedonistic. But then, look at the flip side, the ancient view. In so many traditions, human sexuality absolutely wasn't something you'd hide in the shadows. No way. It was celebrated. It was seen as an inherently sacred force, offering privileged access to transcendence and actual union with the divine. So this ancient perspective, it isn't just a neat little history lesson. It's this profound framework that actually offers a solution to the very modern problem of feeling so spiritually and physically disconnected. Moving on to Section 2, temples and physical symbols. Let's transition from those broad concepts to the incredibly tangible physical evidence they left behind. I mean, if you travel to India, you'll find these breathtaking structures like the Hindu temples of Khajuraho and Konark. In these temples, they feature multitudes of gracefully intertwined bodies, literally sculpted in stone in various sexual embraces. Now, a modern tourist without context might snap a quick photo, maybe giggle, and just label these as, ancient pornography. But actually, scratch that. That completely misses the mark. These ancient stone carvings are sacred symbols. They're pointing directly to a much deeper spiritual reality, meticulously illustrating the divine fusion of Shiva and Shakti. That's the ultimate masculine and feminine principles, whose union literally gives birth to all of creation. Which brings us to Section 3. The primordial polarity, transcending opposites. To truly understand those stone carvings we just talked about, we really have to wrap our heads around two foundational concepts, the lingam and the yoni. Representing the phallus and the vulva, these are absolutely omnipresent in tantric iconography. And they aren't viewed vulgarly, not at all. Instead, they're venerated as representations of a primordial polarity. The idea is that their union symbolizes transcending all opposites, basically returning to the original perfect unity of the cosmos. In these ancient traditions, meditating on these exact symbols is said to systematically awaken this secret dimension right within yourself. Next up, Section 4, Sacred Geometry and Yantras. Okay, now let's shift gears from those recognizable physical forms to much more abstract, energetic representations. We're talking about a concept known as yantras. So what are they? Well, they're complex geometric diagrams used as meditation supports, and the ancients believed that they have the actual power to awaken subtle energies right in the practitioner's body. Think of these shapes as the logical next step in understanding this ancient spiritual technology. They are literal blueprints of divine energy. And here we have the Sri Yantra, which is widely considered the absolute culmination of these geometric designs. Just look at how the complex interwoven lines and triangles perfectly map out the cosmic energies we've been discussing. It's a strictly symbolic representation of masculine and feminine divine energies perfectly intertwining. I mean, just looking at the sheer complexity and harmony of this design, it really shows how deeply these ancient cultures understood and visualized the underlying energetic dynamics of our universe. Let's look at Section 5, Foundational Myths of Union. So let's connect these geometric and physical symbols to the universal stories that really shaped human civilization. In Hindu Tantrism, the entire creation is born from the loving union of Shiva and Shakti. Their ceaseless embrace literally keeps the universe in existence. But then jump all the way across the continent to Chinese Taoism, where the dynamic interaction of yin and yang engenders what they call the 10,000 beings, which is basically a poetic way of saying everything that exists. It's absolutely incredible when you think about it. Two completely different ancient cultures on opposite sides of the world, arriving at the exact same conclusion about the dual cosmic forces required for creation. When we summarize the shared traits of these foundational myths, a super clear pattern emerges. This core belief spans numerous ancient traditions. The universe itself is sustained by a ceaseless embrace, and it's this dynamic interaction that creates all beings. But here is the most important part, the real takeaway. In these traditions, engaging in conscious union wasn't just a physical act between two people. No, it was believed to reactivate these literal cosmic forces within the individuals themselves. So you aren't just a passive observer of the universe, you're actively participating in its ongoing creation. Finally, Section 6, Reconnection in the Modern World. Let's bring this soaring spiritual journey back down to earth for a minute and focus directly on our modern reality through a really fascinating concept called hierophany. So a hierophany is simply a manifestation of the sacred that reveals itself through human experience. For someone committed to a spiritual quest, a simple physical act completely transforms. It ceases to be just carnal. By becoming conscious of this dimension, the act becomes a true celebration of life, a literal ritual of divine adoration that passes right through us. To represent sexuality as sacred is to restore its nobility. Let that profound thought just settle in for a moment. To move past a purely mechanical or hedonistic view is to reveal a mystical depth that honestly has been largely stripped away from our modern, super fast-paced lives. And this loss of nobility is exactly why the role of a tantric sexuality teacher is so vital today. Their role is to skillfully guide clients to transcend those mechanical views, to help them reconnect with that sacred dimension we've been talking about all along. They use these powerful ancient symbols, the myths, the yantras, the iconography, to elevate the whole being. It's really about using profound ancient knowledge as a direct cure for the forgetfulness of our modern world. It offers a structured, reliable path of access to something deeply transformative. Which brings us to our final thought for the day. By recognizing this sacred spark, how will you elevate and transform your own human experience today? Because when you change how you view your physical connection to the world, you literally have the power to change your entire reality. Anyway, thank you so much for exploring this topic with me on this explainer. I really hope this framework helped illuminate these complex ancient ideas for you. Stay curious, keep focused on learning, and I'll catch you on the next one.